Devoting yourself to being better, knowing better, those are good genes. It's down to the DNA, staying solid like I was a Marine. If the heat's on, I can handle the pressure. If the mic's on, I can give you a lecture. If your ear's on, I'ma give you a blessing. Strategize, opportunities, progression. Repetition until it turn into perfection. Repetition until it turn into perfection. Repetition until it turn into perfection. Better tell 'em. The world don't stop just 'cause you're grieving. Better tell 'em. Funeral last week, rent due this evening. Better tell 'em. Red pill, blue pill, pick a side. Better tell 'em. Shit get real, better guard your life.
Better tell them. Welcome to another episode of Good Genes Podcast with your hosts Necia and
Hailey. Hey y'all, we back.
And it's our 10th episode.
Woo, 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 woo.
I'm so excited. We beat the odds of podcast stats because usually they said for new podcasts, they typically don't go past episode 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Look at us.
I'm proud of us.
We made it to double digits.
Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you. I said it right this time?
Yeah.
I'm getting there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
If you, like, the girls really put a G on it.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it right there.
Thank you. I know that's going to irk my brother nerves. Sorry, bro. Sorry. He told me to leave all that in 2025, but we're here. Anyway, how you feeling, cousin?
I am feeling great.
Good.
I'm feeling so good. I'm so happy with the start of this new year and all that we're doing, and just keeping to remind myself of what I want, what I'm going for, how to plan for it, but also like everything ain't so serious. So just right here, right now. Yes, but I've been feeling good. I've been like feeling on top of all the things I have to do. I was talking to our therapist recently that I kind of feel overwhelmed with all the things I want to do, like especially in the beginning of the year and goal setting, blah, blah, blah. And she told me basically just like find harmony. You won't do everything every day, but in a week you'll get everything done, or in a month you'll get everything done. And I was like, just venting to her, like, I want to work out more. I want to meal prep and I want to do all these things. I'm like, but I ain't no morning person. Like, I'm not a 5 a.m. gym girly. So like, where's there time to get everything done?
Right.
But she told me just like the days that it doesn't get done, just find something else to do, you know? So like on the days I don't make it to the gym, I can read because I want to read more. Period. So just finding balance and being in the right here, in the right now.
Love it.
But how are you doing? How's your start of your year kicking off?
I'm not going to lie. I am in a good mood today.
Thank you.
And considering the week I had just with work, it was so much like tying, the beginning and the start of a quarter in like corporate America. It can be very critical and a lot of hard timelines. So I've been dealing with that for like the last week because we were off. So just like being thrust back into that it's been a wild week at work, but I woke up this morning like, it's Saturday, Like, I was running a little late, but then I was like, you know what? You should just fail forward and let it happen.
That's right.
Already late. Don't panic, because I felt like the more I would have like started anxiously trying to look for stuff and get myself together, it would have just prolonged my tardiness.
Yeah, wrapped up the anxiety.
Yeah, I do apologize for my tardiness today. I was like 15 minutes late. But yeah, other than that, I woke up in a good headspace, clear-minded. I woke up in peace, which is like my ultimate prayer. I always ask God for peace beyond understanding. So yeah, I just woke up like, today's gonna be a great day.
I love that.
Nothing spectacular happened. I just keep telling myself like, today's gonna be a great day.
It's so funny, or it's very interesting how you and I are really aligned emotionally, I guess. Because like when we have rough times, we be having rough times together. And I woke up feeling the same way today. Like, I feel so good. I feel all cute and girly and feminine.
I think is it a pink?
Maybe it's our girl Lily. She kind of,
I don't know,
sitting through us.
Yeah, maybe it is.
But hard times only last for so long. So it's like we just on the upside of the hill,
right? Which
I'm grateful for and very thankful for. But you did mention something like how the start of a quarter, start of a year is busy in the corporate world. And I want to know, when you had career aspirations, did you dream of like being a corporate girly, or did you dream of being an entrepreneur?
I really didn't dream of being a corporate girly. I just thought about it as something I knew I was going to have to do to probably launch my entrepreneur skills. Like even when I was in high school, like 10th grade, I was already doing college tours. You know, I knew I wanted to further my education. I knew I wanted to go to school. I knew I didn't just want to go get a traditional degree, but I also knew I wanted to go get a trade. So I obtained a trade degree. I studied medical assistant, and I worked as a medical assistant for pretty much getting myself through college at the University of South Florida. Go Bulls! So yeah, I didn't think like, oh, I'm gonna have a corporate desk and I'm gonna be pushing my Tesla to work. Like I wasn't thinking of it like that, to be honest. Like, oh, I'm gonna make 6 figures. Like I just like, all right, you need to do something. And this is something you're going to have to do. Yeah. But I always felt like I will be doing something that was impactful and more aligned with the entrepreneur. But I just kind of was realistic with myself, too. I was like, well, in order to get there, I don't have a silver spoon. I'm not a trust baby. You know, I just knew it was going to be certain things.
You was having to stack your money.
Yes. But, yeah. So what about you? Did you dream of being a corporate girly or entrepreneur? Like what was Hailey's goals looking like?
So once you get like to high school, you're like seriously planning your life. I always wanted to be in corporate, but I always saw myself as a leader in corporate. Anytime I think of like entrepreneurial things I want to do is very philanthropic. So I don't really care to like be an entrepreneur, start my own business, run it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like when I think of businesses, I like to use the analogy of a car. So the car, no matter if it's a Ferrari and it has the best engine in it, if you're missing 2 bolts in a tire, or if you're missing a tire, the car doesn't move. It doesn't matter how great the engine is, what the horsepower is, how fast you can go 0 to 60. If you're missing a single tire, you can have 3 out of the 4.
Yeah.
If you're missing a single tire, if you're missing a bolt in the tire, if you're missing a brake, you know? So I always looked at myself and knew that regardless of where I was in a corporate structure, it was important to the overall structure. So I always prided myself in being well at what I did. So those are my dreams. And then when I think about being an entrepreneur, I just want to give back. I want to like have nonprofits. I want to get involved with like foster children because they're already like thrown away. And then once they age out of the system, I think about when I turned 18, I'm 31 and I still need my parents. I'm going to start there. So to think that you have a life where you're dependent on the system, someone's paid to care for you, and then you turn 18 and they're like, I'm not paid to care for you anymore, so you're going to have to figure it out. So that's important to me. That's what I think of in my entrepreneurial life. Crazy enough, I have like started a lot of businesses. This one with us, I have business with my friends. Like I've done so much, but really my goals on day to day is to like run big companies, collect my W-2 paycheck, okay, my shares in the company. But I love to be like a team player. I don't need to be the head. It don't need to be mine.
You know what? That's so funny. I was having a discussion with somebody very, very near and dear to my heart last night. And I was telling them I am learning. I'm still learning how to take wins privately, you know, in the art of not oversharing in order to just produce results, right? And I was telling this person, I was like, there's been a lot of things that I've accomplished that nobody like really knows. And there has been a lot of things that like a lot I've been able to like live out some of my dreams. If that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And like how you said, you don't need to be the head and the leader. Like a lot of things now, I think when you really start having like, I'm going to just use the word emotion for lack of better words. Like you really start having emotion sometimes and you really know, like, you know what it is. You don't really care to have your name on it. Like there's certain things that I prefer my name not to be on. I prefer my trust name to be on it. I prefer my holding company name to be on it. You get what I'm saying? So
as it should be.
Yeah, and I think that came with just maturing because like, you know, they tell you even when you start a company, you shouldn't put your name on it. Like when you do an LLC, it shouldn't be your name LLC. You should actually name it something else. But even like just like really learning business, I was like telling this person, I was like, it's a lot of stuff I got going on, and like I don't really talk about it, and I'd rather like other people get the credit for it.
Yes.
And I'd rather just sit back and just watch my dream come true. You know what I'm saying? So like I really feel you when you say like you rather be a team player. Like it makes my heart smile knowing that every month I put money in other people's pockets. Like I have my own little small payroll. It's not super big, but the fact that like I always wanted to be able to like, I was more concerned with that. Like that was the goal of mine, being able to cut a check. You get what I'm saying? Like that brings me more like, that brings me more like joy.
And one of the aspects of my job like that brings me joy, I work with the industry I work in are well-known people. And it is so important to me to protect them and their things because they don't get to go out in the world and like just be themselves. I think about me. I'm not doing every day. I can, you know what I'm saying, throw on sweats, go to...
You clean up well.
Thank you. But I can throw on sweats, go to Target and like not a care in the world. But a lot of the people that I work with don't have that option. And I can only imagine, like, I'm going to be honest, even as someone who don't nobody know, my gun goes with me everywhere I go. So for my own protection. Now imagine what it would feel like for you to go somewhere and like every person you see wants to have some sort of interaction with you.
Right. And you don't know the true intent behind it.
Correct.
You don't know if it's because they're just trying to get attached to you by way of your success, by way of your popularity. That has to be a very scary thing to have to live out every day. You have to almost be in constant questioning and really be in tune with your intuition and your discernment.
And I really hate when people be like, well, you knew what it was when you signed up to be a celebrity. There's still people. This is just their job.
Right.
And so when I used to work at Raymond James Stadium, we would have celebrities come because I worked in suites. So we would have celebrities come to games or concerts or who, like we would have players, family, etc. And it was so like, you could ask any of my staff, if it's one thing I didn't play about, it was about us being good stewards of who's going to be here. Their children are going to be here. This is not your time to be a fan. If they open it up to you, but you don't ever, like I have fired people for that. Like, don't be in these hallways not knowing how to act. The best way, especially because if you want to make the money that you feel like you're going to get from them, is to treat them well, be a good steward of their privacy. This is not a time to take pictures, to put on your Snapchat, do all that. You will get out of here and you'll never return.
Right.
As long as I work here. But I feel like when you become a leader, that's your job. So it's always been important to me in my job to like protect people, even in, because I work in finance, like, let me help you understand that I know you maybe really want to buy a piece of property, but we need to establish boundaries on that so that everyone can't look up where you live. Like,
put it in an trust or a regular trust.
A person who, if they had wise counsel around them, is Miss Onika Mirage. One thing she could do a lot better, because her husband does have to register as a sex offender, is because of that, a lot of her information is public. So now all I have to do is look up your husband, because he's registered as a sex offender, and find out where you live.
Right.
And as a crazy fan, that's not something that you want people to have access to. So it is our job to kind of set parameters to make sure that they're not accessible to the world, that even their staff, like, they have a in-house, not them, but a lot of people who get to billionaire status or are celebrities have like in-home staff. So you have nannies, you have a house manager, you have your landscaper, you have a chef. Like, people are coming to your intimate space.
Right.
And you better bet your bottom dollar you vet them well. So love those things.
I love that's one of the things I was thinking about this morning. Like, that is a luxury. I think we've been taught, especially in our community, that you know how you said they have like their landscaper, their housekeeper, or whatever. I think that was like a goal of mine, more so when I was younger. Like, I wanted to be to a point in my life, like I used to think about, I want to be so successful that I can buy back my time. You know what I'm saying? By way of paying a housekeeper. And, you know, when we were growing up, girl, you better clean your own house. You know, it'd be like frowned upon to be a housekeeper or a nanny or whatever.
Or now you get a housekeeper and you clean the house before the housekeeper.
Yeah. So, but I just think like certain things like that, that's been a goal of mine because I know how valuable my time is in this point in my life. I always didn't understand that. But at this point, I know if I have 2 to 4 hours, you know what I can do in that 2 to 4 hours?
Right.
You know how much time and quality time I could be spending while I'm sweeping and mopping and doing laundry? I could just be having uninterrupted time with my husband. You get what I'm saying? Spending time with my family. So I just think like those luxuries of life, sometimes we don't look at as goals. But for me, that's like a goal. Like I want to get to the point of being able to do that. And like, even when you were saying like you want to be a good steward of other people and just being mindful they're humans, I think living in the city of Miami, I bumped into so many celebrities. Like there's been several times I've been eating and a housewife come in, somebody from Love and Hip Hop, a rap, like literally been in sections with big time rappers.
Yeah.
Most recently, remember I told you I went to the football game where our season tickets are. It's on a club level, on a suites. And I saw somebody who's a huge influencer, and I know the average girl probably would have fanned out, but she was with her kid. So it's just like you just smile, nod, and then give them that courtesy of letting them just be a mom and a regular human being in that moment. And I just think, so that's why a couple episodes ago when I was talking about, we was talking about finances, and I was saying I like boring investments. When I say boring investments, I mean I like guaranteed, like investments that's tried and true, but something that's not so flashy and out there. Because I still want to go to Publix and pick out my own fruit.
Yeah.
I still want to read the sticker to see if it starts with 4-0 whatever to see how much coloring and all of that stuff is on my fruit. Like I still want to do that without having to take, you know, 1,000 pictures or can't get through the door, like, you know.
And I also think about like we are building this platform, and by God's grace, it will change our lives so that more people will know us. But I do think if we are good stewards to others, when it's our time, it will be the same. So when it's our time for more people to know who we are and things like that, that it's not like people will respect our space as well. They'll be respectful of us or understand, you know, because
like, you know, it's like it warmed my heart. Recently you had a party. We both went back home, right? So I know some of your friends, but not all. But like as soon as I came through to get there, it's like cousin, because they felt like, you know, they know me and I love that. But it was also to the point where we just was able to kick it for real. You know, even like going to our cousin's house. Shout out to Janelle, Big J,
Big Nell.
When we were just kicking it at her house, I was like, yeah, this is life right here. You know, we could just be not saying we don't be ourselves, but you know, you could just kick it.
You know that nothing that you talk about hitting the net, it's gonna be genuine.
Walls, it's genuine love. Like they're not loving us because, oh, we got a podcast. They proud of us, but it's not like we having to question the people around. So like that's like a sense of peace that I truly enjoy. Like when I even go back to West Palm Beach, like I'm just auntie.
And that's one thing I can say, like even like at my party, one thing about me, before all of this, before it reached the height that it's going to reach, I have had good people around me. And they are good, genuine people. They don't play about me. They're a good time. Like my saying's nothing like a Hailey party. Okay? You're going to come. You're going to have a good time. You're going to eat good. You're going to laugh. Like, and I'm so thankful for my friends that like show up for me and do all those things because they trust the space that I'll create. So I have really enjoyed that. And that's been something that I don't want to say I dreamed about, but it's something I've always kept in my mind, even as a young girl, is to be mindful of who's around me, the team that I'm building, what I align with, you know, and just be a trust, because then I can't let my hair down.
Right.
Like everybody at my party let their hair down because they know like this ain't hitting the net. You know, it's like it's just a good girl's fun.
Right.
And I don't got to worry about it being too much. So we can all just really have fun and be ourselves. And I'm so thankful to all of the women in my life that did that.
That reminds me of like just how to properly goal set. Like if you know what your goal is, like there's going to be steps you're going to have to take to make sure that you execute it. And so you knew you wanted to create a safe space, non-judgmental, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So you know what type of energy you got to put out into the world to attract those people. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think a lot of times people are confused as to you can really have the life you want to have.
You can have whatever you.
Yeah, you just gonna have to do the work. Like I know how I am. I like the finer things in life, you know. But I know I'm gonna also have to work hard because none of that, most of it's not free. You get what I'm saying?
None of it. Nothing in life is
Yeah. So it's like if I know I want to drive a certain car, if I know I want to have like my work schedule, even that is like kind of flexible. I'm not having to stand on my feet. I'm not having to. You get what I'm saying? Like really deal with too many other people. But that took years of going to school and getting a degree that I got in. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like how to properly goal set. I think one of the most important aspects of the SMART goals is being realistic. It's that R. Because even if you be specific, even if you be measurable, even if it's attainable, if it's not realistic, forget being time specific and all of that.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So I just think like one of the main factors of the SMART goals is that R.
Yeah.
Like being realistic. Like, do I really got it in me to open up a hair salon? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, if I can barely budget, I'm not even being a good steward of what I have. You get what I'm saying? Like, I always knew I wanted to own, multiple properties and stuff like that. But I knew I also, when I was dreaming that, I need to be able to be a good steward of when I'm paying rent.
Thank you.
Like, I can't be late on rent. I can't be getting eviction notices. Like, there take steps. I'm going to have to take a mindset shift into how I view money, so I could be able to execute some of these goals. And even like when it comes to like dating or just like finding friends, you got to be a good person in order to attract the type of people you want, like top tier people. Like top tier people not sticking around for foolishness. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. And I think it also goes to say about like practice. You have to practice the things that you want. If you have a desire for it and you're like setting a goal, especially a big goal, you have to practice it. We are just post MLK Day. And think about how big and radical Martin Luther King's dreams were. But he practiced how to get there.
Right.
He did, the smaller things. He did boycotts. He went and spoke in other places. Like he used his voice that amplified this bigger goal that he had. He practiced those things. And I feel like I was talking to you and I had a revelation about something I needed to practice, because I think about, I don't really joke around, but I'll be like, I want to be a woman of leisure. I can't wait to wake up at 6 a.m, cook my man breakfast, send him with his lunch, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't have no practice in that. I was sitting on my couch. We had a late meeting and I needed to prep food for lunch the next day. And I was like, I really don't want to do this. And that, me to me said, how do you say that you want to get up at 6 a.m, cook a man meal, and you won't do it for yourself?
Yeah.
So I politely gather my things.
I'm just going to gather my things.
And I chopped up that salad, and it was very good the next day. But it just reminded me that I have to practice for any goal that I want.
Right.
And it takes me back to when I was a kid and I was dancing. If I wanted to perform on big stages, then I had to prep for the big stage. You don't just get on the big stage and feel like you're going to be ready for it. Because when it's lights, camera, action, and the butterflies in your stomach, and like you can't mess up, you can mess up in practice. You can't mess up on the one performance that people aren't paying to see you multiple times. They're paying to see you tonight.
Right.
This one night only. So it just reminds me, like, you have to get the reps in. You have to practice for showtime, because you really, in some instances, you only get one chance at showtime.
Right. That
With goals.
That is so true. I love that.
But speaking of being younger, I know, like, of course, my goal when I was younger, I wanted to be a professional dancer. That changed once I got to high school. But what are some I also think of an outrageous goal that I had when I was younger, which was I wanted like 7 kids. Child, I don't know what was wrong with her, okay? But what are some goals you think about that you had as a kid that maybe like came to fruition, were just childish thoughts, or that you still hold dear?
That's a good question. I just want to tell you too, I've been told your dreams aren't big enough if they don't shock you and everybody else around you. Like they should sound so crazy,
Yes.
and unattainable. Like that's having crazy faith. So like the fact that she wanted 7 kids at one point, you know, you just never know. It's not too late.
Necia.
It's not too late. But to answer your question, I wanted to be a dancer too when I was younger. I was actually in a magnet dance program. We were in the
Same one,
just different years. But then I grew out of that quickly. And then I always just wanted to like be a great investor by way of the stock market. Like I started getting interested in this stuff probably about, I would say, like 6 years ago. And this before like I really had money for real. But I just was starting to learn, like I always just want to be like, I want to be able to provide affordable housing. I want to be able to like I say, be able to pay people every month. Like they know on the first they get in, or whenever we decide to pay each other, like I want to be able to pay for services. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Pay for people's talents and their passions. I want to be able to, like another goal of mine that I'm working on is launching my nonprofit. I registered it 2 years ago and did really nothing with it because I was back and forth, intending to family. But one of the things that I wanted to do is like launch my nonprofit and creating that space. So that's something like that I am working behind the scenes on, making sure that comes true for me this year.
Right.
Yeah, and then also too, like another dream of mine, like I really wanted to be in the education space when it came to like finances and credit and all of that stuff. So like even just like this, having this platform with you, it's like giving us a stepping stone. Like, dang, Hailey, we really 10 episodes in on a podcast.
Yes.
You know, and we're building a community brick by brick. So thank everyone who's been tapping in. So like things like that, that's been a goal of mine. And then too, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a little girl, I never thought about like, oh, I want to be a wife, I want to be a mom. That never been me. But now that I am a wife, it's just like I want to be the best wife I can be. I want to be the best sister I can be, the best friend, cousin. Like I just want to be like such a fly, dope person. Like when I leave here, my legacy lives beyond me. Like the things that I've stood on, my principles and my morals, those are still going to be talked about after my physical presence passes away. You know?
Yes.
That's my goal and dream. I want to be impactful.
Love that.
Yeah. What about you? Other than dancing, I know you mentioned that.
Yeah, dancing. I want to have.
It's 7 kids. You did mention more than one. Okay.
But I do want to say how I pivoted from those dreams, or like, cause you got to be realistic. What I realized as a dancer, as much as I had a passion for it, I was realistic about the type of money I wanted to make and the life I wanted to live, and I grew to understand that that was not really in being a dancer. That career field just didn't provide the level of, financial freedom I wanted. Like you still have to struggle to go to school. It's a gig work. Like it's not as consistent as I would like. So as I got older and I came to realize that, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to live the life that I want to, especially as fast as I want to, following this career. I could always still dance for fun, go take dance classes, perform. Those are things I could still do without it being my career. So that's what made me pivot from my passion for dance or the dream of being a dancer. And you mentioned something that you had a dream of like being an investor or being in the stocks. And I have a dream to have those things, but I realized about myself that I'm a gambler. When it comes to things like that, I'm not a great loser. So for me, I want to vet the best trusted advisor that I can find that works in that field and say, here's my money, do what you do best. Because if I have to watch my stock and know what to invest in, like, I know I'm an overindulgent person, and once I get into that, it ain't gonna be no good for me. So the best thing I can do is find an expert, pay them their worth, and let them handle that. That is not that's not my field, okay? And with the whole mom thing, I just grew older, but as I approached my 30s, I had a very, very, very realistic conversation with myself. And I said, Hailey, this may not be in God's will for you. And how are you going to live out your life if it's not? Are you going to be okay waking up every day and never having kids, potentially never being someone's wife? Because I do see the people who like destroy their lives because
they over obsessing over the fact that
I'm getting older, so they get into poor relationships. You have children with a man who don't want it, or you adopt out of, I do know that fostering is an option, adoption is an option. If I truly want to dive into that, then I can. If I get past, childbearing age and I still want to have kids, there's options for me. But I had to have a talk with myself and say, do you want it so bad that you will make poor decisions to have it?
Yeah. And willing to go against God's will.
Yep.
And out of alignment just to try to make it happen.
Because I want it. And another thing I realized, I was in a parking garage leaving work, and I'm a car girly. And as I'm coming down the ramp, up the ramp, I can hear it. Comes an old school Mustang, loud. Just imagine Tommy coming in the parking garage. And I am like hooting and hollering in my car because I love cars and they just make me so excited. Yeah. And I was getting ready to pray to God and say, Lord, give me the desires of my heart. And I stopped myself and I said, if it's for me, give me the desires of my heart. Because if it's not for me to like have these things, if this is just a worldly desire that I have, then I want it to stay just there. But if God intends me to have the life where I have pretty much a whole house of cars and they come in every shape, size, color, make, model, then God will give that to me. So I just pray that if it's for me, give it to me, God. I'm so excited about it. But if it's a worldly desire, let it end by the time I come out this park garage,
Right.
So just being very intentional about, when I was a kid, wanted 7 kids, but clearly God does not have that for me. So if I had hung on to that, like I would ruin what God does have for me to have something I want.
Right.
And I don't want to be in the way of myself. Same thing with investing. I don't want to be in the way of myself. I know that my characteristics don't align with that. So I just learned to be very honest with myself and sit me down with my own me-to-me therapy sessions and be like, well, Hailey, Are you going to be a good steward of this? Are you really going to do it well? How can you make it happen if it is aligned with what God wants? Because, I could have 7 kids. Who knows? I could marry a man who has 4 kids. We have 3 together. We got 7 kids.
Right. Yeah, still may work out.
Yeah, it's all an option, but I'm comfortable with it not being an option.
Right. You done made peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such an important thing to like come to terms with, because we're not going to get everything that we dream, pray, and wish for. It's just not realistic in life, right? But I just think trying to do your best and putting the work in behind your own faith to who and whatever that looks like to you, I think that's what's important, because there's been things that I've wanted that wasn't the best will for me. You get what I'm saying? Then like later on, I'm like, oh, I understand now. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like even right now, there's something that I really want to accomplish that I really haven't shared with, I don't even know if I shared it with you yet, but
we'll talk off camera.
Yeah. It's something that I really want to do, but I feel like God is not going to allow me to touch it until I set a stronger boundary of, because I like to give away a lot of stuff. I'm always thinking I can help everybody, right? And sometimes I'm learning that me helping people is sometimes hindering their own blessing and their own lesson that God is trying to teach them.
And he said, make way for me.
Yeah.
If Nicia's doing everything, what room does God have?
Yeah. So I'm like, I felt like me and God had a conversation like, if I give you this, all you're going to do is give it away. And it's not going to be what you want it to be, which is to, really be an investment for you. You're going to give it away. You're not going to use it for what it's supposed to be used for. So I just feel like sometimes God will delay our blessings. Sometimes too, it be people around us, to be honest. Sometimes we telling our dreams to the wrong people. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to somebody close to me and they was telling me a goal they have this year, and I was pouring into them like, you can do it. But I'm like, if you have this conversation with other people around you, they may not understand it. They may project fear onto you. So sometimes we have to learn to zip it. It's a book called Zip It. Sometimes we got to learn just to be silent and talk to God or talk to like-minded people pour into us. Like, we be like, oh, this time next year, this podcast going to be able to allow us to do this, and this. And I know sometimes we sound crazy, but I want our goals to sound that crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, when you're talking about like speaking to others and speaking to yourself, you have to be willing to be held accountable.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to speak out a dream and being held accountable to that. That's something we recently just had a moment in is you have told me dreams that you have. We were talking about something and I just held you accountable to that dream that you want. And thankfully you were willing to be held accountable. It wasn't combative. You was like, you know what? Yep. I'm going to try it because you could be onto something. So you definitely have to be open to those things. And another book, you have to be willing to fail forward.
Yes, I love that book. Oh my gosh, I read it and I love that book.
Yeah, I love the concept. I heard Will Smith talk about it a long time ago, but I'm a very visual person, and when I see that, I think of tripping on a staircase because that to me that's failing forward. Like I'm still going up the staircase even if I trip on a step. So, and to me, nothing is a failure unless you stand still.
Yes.
So,
but they say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. So I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
What my daddy say, my daddy king of sayings, but he say nothing beats a failure but a try. So I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna at least try it.
Yeah.
You may not.
And then if you tell me like, oh, you wilding in your try, and be like, you might be on something.
You might be right. Yeah. But this is why I think having wise counsel around you too is so important. Because wise counsel will either keep telling you to keep going or they'll be like, okay, well, how about you try this approach?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the biggest obstacle to that is you being open to that.
Yeah.
You not wanting to be. One thing I'm learning now is I don't have to argue my point down. I don't have to try and get someone else to understand my vantage point, and I don't have to try and understand anyone else's. Like once we get to a point where it's like, oh, we're not going to see this the same way, I'd be like, oh, that's fine. Like, to me, you know what? You're right. Because that's two things can be true. So you just be open to you have your discernment. What is right? What you trying to tell me is real, and what you trying to tell me based on your own fear. Because people will take how they feel about themselves and put it on you.
Right.
A lot of times people's wild things that they have to say about you or criticisms of you will be a criticism that they can't look in the mirror and say to themselves. So they're projecting it. But when you do have the discernment, you know the people who are telling you for real.
Yeah. And sometimes people would trick you out of your own blessings because you're now reminding them of something they wanted to do. And now, like, they know you probably an executor. You resilient. So they like, dang, if she really go for it, dang, she going to steal my dream. Really, it's enough dreams for everybody because what's for you is for you.
Right.
Whether me and you could do the same exact thing and it still look different. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people, though, they just don't champion or cheer for people because it reminds them of things they didn't fail for.
Yeah.
Like things they didn't take the shot on. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you got a basketball in your hand too on your court, shoot it. That's the type of person I am. Like when I be around people and they be like giving me kind of like mixed energy, because you can feel it. You can kind of feel like
sure.
with somebody like projecting on you, but it's just like the only difference between me and you is I'm trying. That I didn't give up.
That's right.
That's it. It's not that I have some secret power. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Sometimes it could be we complicate things. We complicate our goals. We complicate our dreams. We prolong them by being hard-headed, you know? So, yeah.
Can you think about a time or an example where you did fail forward?
Yeah.
How it helped you or changed your life?
Yeah. Getting married again.
I know that's right.
Getting married again. Because once you go through a divorce, it's like a death in the family, especially when you went into it genuinely. When you went into it with pure intentions and really praying that it works and really wanting to be a helpmate and all of that stuff, and it doesn't work out, it kind of will question like everything you believe. And then that's a different type of grief, because it's like who you marry is not who you divorce. You know?
Say that again.
Who you marry is not who you divorce. So I remember getting out of my divorce, and a lot of people were telling me like, just be on your... I remember
be outside.
I remember Glorilla had just came out with F Nigga Free song. That song had just hit like around the time. And I remember everybody just was like, man, just pop it. Nisha just da-da-da-da-da. And I was going, I met a couple people easily too, right? And it was just like, I could either let this define me and build so much fear in me that I don't give nobody else son a chance and lose out on the opportunity of love, real love, right? Or I can fall into the trap of, well, not the trap, or I can fail forward, give somebody a chance to love me, know that I am worth that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the biggest lessons is falling forward, like me saying, you know what, I'm going to dust myself off. I'm going to wish him well, whatever, but I'm not going to let this define me. I'm not going to let this make me bitter. I'm not going to let this change me for the worse. Like, if anything, I'm going to get better, which I did. But it took a whole lot of soul searching and being real with myself. Like, I had to take accountability. I had a hand in it too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just think, and now one of my biggest blessings is being married now to who I'm married to, because it's like I'm able to experience love and compassion and just adult friendship, like
everything you could dream of.
Everything more than I can dream of. Because remember, a lot of that stuff got tainted in my head.
Right.
So it's like more than I could dream of. And then I think the second thing that sits out is like after my mom and my sister passed away, I had to fail forward. Because I had to either make the decision to let this take me out along with them, or fail forward and turn my pain into purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, find another way to just make them proud. How I could still finding a way to live without them by still creating a legacy for them, even though it hurts so bad. Like, but I'm failing for it every day, because it's like I could choose just to give up. And I have every right to.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm going to fail for it. And it may not always, every day doesn't look pretty. Every day does not look put together. But at the end of the day, I'm going to fail forward.
Very good, cousin.
What
So
about
proud
what's
of you.
Thank you. What's something that you remember that you had to fail forward on?
I think one of the biggest ones that became a eye-opening lesson to me is I'm very hardworking, so I felt like as long as I worked hard, I could achieve what I wanted. And I was very studious in school. I made phenomenal grades. I took AP courses. I took college courses in high school. So I felt like if I set my hearts on the school I wanted to go to, I would go. And then I got rejected from my dream school. And I was like, excuse me, what? And I ended up at a school that offered me, I never even had a thought of going to, offered me pretty much a full ride. And I was like, well, this is the option that I have. And thank God I was there, because I was closer to home. And shortly after that, we had a big change in our family that really required me to be closer to home. And it reminded me that God will literally pivot you to where you need to be, even when, you know, your desires are what they are. Because I was like, but I worked so hard. I literally checked all the boxes. How is this not an option for me? And it just reminded me that I need to, even as hard as I try, I could be running in the wrong direction. So I was running in the wrong way of where I needed to go. So to me, that's how I fell forward. Now I just go with the flow. Right. It's like, okay, I can't.
You're not fighting.
If it feels like it's a fight to get it, then I need to kind of rest on wanting to have it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then another one I think about, we had a chat and you asked me a very honest question about like, well, how could you let this happen? You know? And I was honest in my answer. And I started to say, but now it reminds me of why I'll never let that happen again, why I'll do this. And I was like, but really, I still have the desires that I had then to just have a peaceful life. So I'm actually not going to let that change my behavior. I'm still going to want what I wanted then. It just wasn't right in that circumstance.
I'm so proud of you, cousin. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
It reminds me of when people get fired, right? Sometimes it's because God is trying to literally move you and you haven't been moving on your own accord. So he will terminate you. He will have them people fire you so you can get in your bag, your purpose, your dream, because he know you can do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I be like having those thoughts like, dang, like I don't never want God to have to move me.
Yeah. He has had to move me. I'm stuck.
He has had to move me though, because like even with breakups, divorces, all of that type of stuff, job loss, whatever, losing people, God sometimes will take that to let you know, like you're still that person. You're stronger than you think. You're more resilient than you think. Yes. You know what I mean? I got a purpose for you, but it's gonna cause you some pain because you're not moving on your own. So I had to like take accountability of that too, like on the times I had to fail for it, like, you know.
I also think about of how God works. He will give you the gift of dreams. And one thing I can say, anything that I've been too stubborn to see in front of me, God has revealed in a dream to me. I am one of them girls.
You're going to see it.
I am one of them girls. God be like, you want it clear? Here it go. So I know we talk about like dreams as far as like aspirations and things that we want, but even dreaming when you rest is a way that God will use. And even that will reveal things to you. Because I have a friend who like, she got a gift for real. Like, she sees what's going to happen type of gift.
Like premonition.
Yes. And I'd be like, oh, girl, you was right.
You know, Lee was like that. A lot of Lee dreams came to pass, good and bad. A lot of them. And she would tell me, like, sometimes when it would scare her, she would have to tell me to, like, just in case it happens, you know.
Yeah. And so I try to be mindful, you know, of those things and like, okay, what is happening? Because sometimes my dreams will be a little crazy, but they have meaning in them too. It's like, I guess God just know I got a big imagination. So he like,
you could pick up what I'm putting down.
Yes, I can make it grand for you. So yeah, that really showed me a lot. And now I definitely just listen to a dream. I'd be like, let me make sure I know what you're saying in this, because you definitely telling me something and I got my antennas up. I'm done being stubborn. You said what?
Yeah.
And then we go figure out what that is. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. That's definitely a gift to have.
It is. So if you all have the gift of dreaming, tell us some crazy things you realized in a dream or a childhood aspiration that you had that you was like, girl, you're not going to have 7 kids.
Yeah. Or how you had to fail forward. Or some of your dreams that you dreamed, but they didn't really necessarily come true. But now, looking back, you know why.
Yes.
Or some of the dreams that you have achieved, you know?
And we were talking about MLK, like, I'm quite literally the product of a dream that he's a stranger to me. But because MLK had the dream that he had, I'm literally a product of his dream coming to fruition. Being biracial and being more acceptable in society than the time that he was in. Because it wasn't all, like we talked about with my mom. It wasn't always acceptable, neither was their relationship even then. But because he dreamt it, it became more comfortable and more and more. So can't wait to chat with y'all in the comments about dreams that come true for you, how you're a living dream, just being you.
Yes, and make sure y'all like the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you already are not,
and send it to a friend.
And send it to a friend, and tell a friend, and tell a friend, and comment if you wish, and share. Yeah, just share it. We appreciate y'all engaging with this content and
chatting with us.
Yeah, we appreciate the feedback that we get. So yeah.
Yap with you next time.
Ciao.